What's up guys, Protagonist here, and today we'll be doing another Vanguard Zero deck profile on Ember Dragon Eclipse. So with set 2, majority of their clans have gotten their chain rights. Today we're going through Kagero's chain right, which is Ember Dragons. So as you guys know, Ember Dragon has previously gotten nerfed in the Japanese version, where his current version only retires one of your opponent's rearguard and costs a count +2. All you Kagero fans out there will be asking, is this still worth playing with such a huge nerf? So personally, I do understand why they decide to nerf it, because there are lots of decks that relies on the rearguard, and this deck has been dominating in the Japan server, and therefore it got nerfed. But to be fair, the Ember Dragon chain right has lots of benefits, and the overall deck itself is really good. As I climb past Legend 10, I do see a lot of Eclipse deck out there, which is a really good alternative if you do not have blockades like myself. Personally, I only have 2 blockades, and I do not see them often enough in my Kagero deck. So I'm really enjoying the Eclipse deck right now, and let's go through the pros and cons of the deck and whether you should build one yourself. My personal opinion on this is yes, Ember Dragon is still worth building, is because we do know that Blouse is definitely a better chain right. However, you guys gotta know that Kagero does have one of the best rearguards in the game. They have a Blaster Blade, they have a Grade 3 that actually does something, which is Dragonic Overlord. It's one of the best Grade 3s to be honest, because as a finisher, this thing is outstanding. And yeah, Ember Dragon by itself is really good because firstly, its chain right nets you pluses and it improves the consistency of the deck overall. So for example, whenever you write your Grade 1, you will be able to search a Grade 2 version of yourself. You can also throw down a Grade 1 on the rearguard circle to search out for your Grade 3, which is really consistent, very important. So in this aspect, it kind of matches up to Blouse consistency. However, in terms of power, its Vanguard is really underwhelming. But in this deck, we will not be focusing on its Vanguard ability, but our rearguard's abilities and the chain right engine to plus overall. So this deck does work really well if you have a winning image. My winning image to write the Ember Dragon Eclipse and have the 11k base, while using Dragonic Overlords and Berserk Dragon to clear my opponent's rearguards and go for game. So let's quickly go through this deck list and play a couple of games to test it out. First up, Perfect Guards, pretty much self-explanatory, your only defense line, so 4 copies. 4 copies of Lamia. She is still very good because whenever you use Berserk Dragon and she's behind your Vanguard, you basically have a magic number. So if your opponent were to check triggers, you're still able to slap their face. So I still personally play 4 because I do play a lot of Berserk Dragons. However, in this deck, it does have a bit of problem since I feel that Ember Dragon Eclipse skill is too late for it, because Ember Dragon Eclipse activates after you hit, and most of the times you usually hit with your Vanguard at the last or the second last unit. So her main way to plus is actually through Berserk Dragons, so do take note of that. 4 copies of the Chain Right. Chain Right is whenever you have Ender Dragon Dawn in the soul, it gains +2k, so it's an 8k vanilla whenever you write successfully on top of the Grade 0, the starter. When placed, you can discard a Grade 3 from your hand and add an Ember Dragon Eclipse from the deck to your hand. So this ability is really good, and do note sometimes that there are some players that choose not to write this first above your starter. The main reason is because if you already have your Grade 2 in your hand, you could also keep this in the hand and maybe perhaps write a Joker instead. And then during your main phase, you could call this and discard a Grade 3 to search out your Ember Dragon Eclipse, because that is your winning image and you definitely want to get an 11k base. So yeah, so do take note that you can also choose to keep this. However, you do miss out on the second ability, which is whenever you write on top of the Ember Dragon, get to search the Grade 2 version, Dusk. So whenever you write him, is basically a +1, really good. And if you do not have the Ember Dragon Eclipse and you really need to, you can discard your heal triggers, your waterfall, and get your Ember Dragon Eclipse into your hand. So it's really good, it's really consistent, it's like Blouse engine. 1 copy of Hit Nails Elemental. This card used to be a triple rare in the original Vanguard series. Very interesting, it got nerfed to a red common. The reason why I do play 1 copy of him is because he is basically a Kimnara, and Kimnara does cost 1 Count Blast and kind of minus itself. It goes to Soul, but this deck doesn't use Soul, so it's no problem. But this deck goes back into your deck. Yes, it does fatten your deck a little bit with non-triggers, but the ability to retire 1 rearguard is huge in this deck, and I'll explain to you really soon when I go to the card. So one tag-in copy, Joker there mostly to put behind 10k and above front rows, like Lava Arm or DOs, and hit magic numbers, really good. So let's go to Grade 2s, basically a Blaster of the deck, Tachiare Boku no Bunshin version, Kagero, which is the Berserk Dragon. Count Blast 2 to retire a Grade 2 or lesser rearguard, really good, get rid of intercepts or that back row. So 1 copy of Battle-Causticity. Battle-Causticity you could play 2. Personally, I do play 1 because I don't really pull his ability off that often, and I don't really have a lot of Count Blast for 1 because the only Count Blast I use for is for my finishers, which is Dragonic Overlord and the Berserk Dragon. So you could play 2 and cut off certain units, but I feel that this deck is just really hard to make space for another one. So yeah, Berserk Dragon is still very important in my opinion. 4 copies of the Chain Ride. If Ember Dragon Daylights in the soul, it gains plus extra 1k, which is a 10k vanilla. Very cool. When this card attacks a Vanguard, it gains plus 2k. Pretty much one of the weirdest Chain Rides in my opinion, because of the fact it just gains 2k as a Vanguard. But it's okay, we don't really use this much early in the game. We just use it as a Chain Ride to plus off and gain that 11k base for your Vanguard. And my favorite card of that is the 12k Lava Arm Dragon. This artwork is amazing. It just looks like a great tree. Okay, if you have a Vanguard, it's not Ember Dragon or Dusk. Basically, it is minus 5k, which is 7k, very weak. So you definitely want to guarantee ride your Ember Dragon Eclipse. Otherwise, you'll be a 7k weekly instead. Okay, the reason why this card is amazing is because it has a 12k base. Its 12k base is really powerful because during your opponent's turn, if this card is a 12k base, your opponent must have units that has 12k and above to beat through this intercept itself. So there are some games where I keep retiring my opponent's back row. They do not have any great ones on the field, and they struggle to even clear this. I was fighting Tsukiyomi and I just placed one of him over there, and the Tsukiyomi couldn't even attack me, and he just ended turn because there's not like buddy fight where you can just link attack. If your Vanguard or Rearguards are 11k or lower, you just can just end your turn. So it's really good, and this is why the counterblast management and retiring the back row is huge in this deck. And this is one advantage it has over Blau. Blau's don't have the ability to retire your opponent's back row, so in a way, Kagero has it going for them because you'll be able to control their back row and they won't be able to hit. So there are a lot of times that this card will save you. And also, being a 12k base behind Joka, or if you play the 8k bar vanilla, it makes a magic number against certain matchups as well, which is 10k base. Alright, let's go to Great Trees. 3 copies of Dragonic Overlord. I only got 2 previously, and I've only got 1 from the Legend ranking. So I'm trying to push my second one right now. And yeah, I would definitely be playing for Dragonic Overlord. It's such an amazing card in this deck. We don't use much of our Counter Blast from Eclipse and use more on Overlord because it gives you instant intercept destruction too. And you can just swing everything for face. It's a very good card. It also gains power so that you'll be able to hit that magic number. So you can swing 3 times against your opponent. 4 copies of Heal Triggers. Basically, if your opponent has 2 or less rearguards, you can become 13k attacking power. 2 copies of Waterfall. Waterfall is our triple rare from the latest set. Personally, I don't think it's really a powerful unit, and you should save your crafting materials for the end. But this guy is actually very good against certain matchup, which is the Imperial Daughter Store. That deck is Cancer, and this using it is very important because it does easily hit 21k, 7k plus 18 plus 3 is 21k, so it's 14 plus 7, 21k. And yeah, it also has an 11k base, which is great against a lot of decks. So even if you do not ride into your Ember Dragon Eclipse, having this 11k base is great because it is basically a 14k attacker by itself. Putting a Joka or any 7k behind it makes it a 21k, and when it attacks against Imperial Daughter, you can just discard 1 and make them cry. So yep, really good card. It's mainly for the anti-Imperial Daughter. If I play against Imperial Daughter, I'll just ride this and easy win, trust me. And finally, the boss monster of the deck is 4 copies of Ember Dragon Eclipse. If you have a Dust in the Soul, it's a 11k base. Counter Blast 2 and activate a following ability. When this unit attack hits the Vanguard, retire 1 of the opponent's rearguard. This ability could have been a lot better if it says ability hits done and don't require you to hit a Vanguard. It would be very good because I would just swing with this first and just retire their other interceptors. But you know, we can't get something too OP. So overall, we're just using the Chain Ride to get its 11k base consistently. And that's about it. But also, if you do not have any units like Berserk Dragon in your hand, you can always use this ability to Counter Blast 2 and get rid of back row. Do remember that back row is very important in this matchup because you have Lava Arm Dragons to shut down your opponent's turn completely if you do it right. Overall, that's the deck. Let's quickly jump into rank. So we're fighting against Kamui. Basically, Kamui is a very common deck in ladder since it has 2 of the best decks in the game, which is Blau and Perfect Risers. Perfect Risers personally one of the best decks because of its consistency. So a hand like this is pretty close. We do need to have a grade 2 and grade 3. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mulligan everything back. And hopefully I can draw either the grade 1 so that I can filter for the grade 3 or the grade 3 itself is the key. So I'm going to shuffle all of this back. And this, I got an absolutely bonkers hand. Really good hand. So a really interesting matchup because this is one of those decks that can control Risers properly because they do have a bit of problem gaining advantage, but it all comes down to trigger luck, so you never know what will happen. So grade 1 right, you get to assess your grade 2 instantly. Very good. So I'm just gonna pass my turn and see his move. Most likely it's a perfect Riser deck since he uses a Rise starter. If it's Blau, he definitely will be using the Blau starter. So I think he does miss his Blau, right? Or it could also be the Gen 1 Nova's deck. Possibly. Because the Toolkit Boy. Perfect Riser only gains advantage through stuff like the Brutal Jax and the Kirara. It's my turn. I will be able to ride the Grade 2. So it will be hitting for 12k. Do remember that it does gain plus 2k when attacks the Vanguard, so you attack this second. I could call down another rearguard. Yep, this will suffice. Entering battle phase, swing with the rearguard. Then check trigger. Excellent. So now I'll be able to hit my 12k to the Vanguard. So the Lava Arm Dragon, the card that I really want to show off later on, gets the draw trigger. Excellent comeback for his hand, since he might be needing a bit of those. So yeah, 6 hand size. With the draw trigger, he actually maintains his hand advantage quite well. But it all comes down to what he writes. I am guessing this might be still a Riser deck. Yeah. With Brutal, I have no idea. It might be just a standard Nova deck. Yeah, it looks like the first gen Novas, but the deck is still capable of pushing aggressive plays. Like some players actually personally prefer the old Asura Kaiser over the Perfect Riser, because Asura Kaiser, yes, does have a bit of its advantage with multi attacks, whereas Perfect Riser is just swinging hard with the crit for pressure, kind of like MLB. Yeah, like MLB doesn't really swarm a lot compared to its counterparts, like the Snuggle deck. So now this is where the deck shines. We have some Counter Blast to play around, so most likely you wanna snipe off stuff that snipe off the rearguards that provides advantage. So unfortunately, I do not have any rig, but I think I will definitely need to call this here because my units won't be able to solo the king. So let's try to activate Eclipse ability. So unfortunately it does have the 10k base, so I won't be able to solo. So I do have to count out a Grade 3. Not very cool, but I think it's all for the best. Just in case I check a heal trigger especially. So let's enter the battle phase. And just swing, clear his rearguards, and then hit and potentially retire one of these. I really like the waterfall animation. It's the splashing effect. Yeah, I do see some players playing stand in this deck, and I can see why it works, because if you're using the Eclipse Dragon ability, you'll still be able to stand your rearguard since you'll be most likely attacking last most of the times. So I'll be retiring most likely this one. The Toolkit Boy can stay because the Counter Blast doesn't really matter for me. It's a Gen 1 Go Retail deck. He returns. No, the Alien Grey, the Cray Soldier returns. I guess next turn I could use the Velocity Dragon to get back my Counter Blast, so it's okay. A draw trigger, very nice. So with that, he does definitely have to check a trigger in order for his Go Retail to hit and to stand his rearguards. Very important. He checks that heal trigger. Excellent play. Excellent, outstanding move, sir. What? What are you doing, bro? Bro. Oh no. Oh dear, I feel so bad on him. Even if you were to restand this, you won't be able to hit, to be fair. Yeah. So yeah, I guess it's a misplay, but so in this way we will just call this. Try to get back some counter blast with this boy here. So entering the attack phase. Solo this. Splash splash. Dragon. Getting lucky with the draw trigger, excellent for perfect guards. Wow. So with him I'm able to counter charge one. Very nice. Gets another heal trigger, but it whiffs this time around. Right. Looks like he just has to be very careful with the way he counterblasts and attacks. So he clears this. Most likely he's gonna swing with the King of Night first, because otherwise it wouldn't be worth it. So now he swings with the Toolkit Boy, boosting the Gold Rosal to restand his rear guard. But it's only worth it if he checks a trigger. Otherwise, he does check a trigger. Very nice. He could power to the side and save his counter blast. Or if he checks the second trigger, he could just power to the egg monster and just swing my waterfall. Last attack with him, which hits the magic number. Now this is a perfect moment for me to pull Dragonic Overlord if I do have one, because I do have a lot of counter blasts. Alright. It's all Gucci. So with this, I'd probably still be activating his skill. So this is what great about Ember Dragon. Even if you don't have abilities to trigger, you can always use this ability to trigger to connect you some pluses or control opponent's back row. So really like this ability. It's a kind of inbuilt handy skill. Oh, another cool thing is I could activate his ability twice. So even if he will not die, I can clear off his last two rear guards and he won't be able to hit me. So let's enter the attack phase. Swing. So one thing guys, if you guys didn't know, you could activate its ability 2 times. Yes, it's quite expensive, but in this situation you can see how useful it is against certain decks like Novas. So yeah, I'm just gonna scare him a bit and place it to this, just in case, make him think that I play the stand trigger. This one doesn't really matter. So the Vanguard hits. I get to use the ability twice, so I can select both. So this is technically the O ability by itself. The O ability to retire 2, but now it's Counter Blast 4. Oof. Yeah, absolutely dominating few base decks. And the reason why that is the reason why the Floggo deck, the Snowgo deck didn't stand a chance against the O Ember, because he just eradicates the entire board just with 2 Counter Blasts. And yeah, you can see how powerful it is. Yeah, apparently it looks like a Riser hybrid deck, but I think he didn't draw his Riser, poor fella. So he probably has to attack with this, the Gold Retail to attack the side, and he swings the face. Doesn't check a trigger, unfortunately. I'm guessing the last card is a perfect guard, most like looks to be. Heal trigger, oh no. Lucky heal trigger. Alright. So I will skip the right phase. Score the Ember Dragons and enter the attack phase. Scare him by attacking the rear guard first. Gets the draw trigger, absolutely clutch right now. Pointless, but it does help me hit the Vanguard. Amazing. Guess I'll keep this. Let's have a perfect gun. Then, magic numbers, another perfect gun. No, it doesn't have a perfect gun. Yep, I remember he had a perfect gun, so a very lucky double trigger by me. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed my deck profile on the Ember Dragon Eclipse deck. And if you'd like to see me do another Vanguard Zero deck profile, make sure to comment the deck of choice down below and like this video. Once again, thank you guys for watching, peace out and love you guys! Rawr!